You know what I was like during my glory days, do you?
Record the audio.
Should I?
How did it turn? I haven't listened to it. How did it turn out when
Uh,
you ran the audio through whatchamacallit? You said it was all right.
yeah, it sounds good either way.
All right, all right.
So should I record or just you
No,
could just send me the video?
I'll just
Okay,
send you
cool,
the
cool,
audio.
cool. Okay. All right, give me 1 second and I'm gonna start us up.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy
Oh
Eric D.
God.
Andrews. I'm just chilling. I'm down bad. Welcome to the sloppy hour with Eric D.
The
Andrews.
sloppy hour. Holy shit.
Bro.
The
You know the
sloppy hour.
motherfucking vibes.
All
I'm
right.
sober today, so maybe I won't yell as much, but who knows? Hey, no
Dude.
guarantees.
That shit was funny. Let me close my windows. All right. They said we couldn't do it.
Oh my God.
They said we wasn't gonna make it. They was like, hey, y'all podcast ain't shit. Y'all ain't gonna never make another episode. But guess what? We back.
Season
right.
2.
Season 2.
Yeah.
Yasuke. Cryptocurrency.
Ooh.
It's a podcast formerly known as Tapped In. What's
Yes.
good?
Yes.
As usual, we got my boy Marcus Murray, the big Kakuna,
Yes,
young
sir.
Pokemon, young Lord. What's good, Marcus?
You know what I'm saying? I just got every Pokemon, I got a shiny version in Pokemon Go.
Shinies.
You know what I'm saying? My account is worth $6,000. You know what I mean? I got a World of Warcraft druid at cap level, man.
Cap
Y'all not
level.
fucking with me, man.
Can't
You
even
know what I'm
upgrade no
saying?
more. God damn.
Can't even do. I'm just chilling on my throne. You know what I mean?
Firestone, Waterstone. He got
Yeah.
them all.
Coming to you live from my mom's basement in Omaha, Nebraska this week. Cause I'm jet setting. You know what I mean? I can't stay in one place for too long.
My man's a nomad. Quit
Yes,
playing with him.
sir, man. I'm over here. I'm over there. I'm back over here. I got 2 places that I go to all the time, man. You can't keep up.
Yeah. I feel it. And
Talk
as
to him.
always, we got my man, the legend, the myth, young deity, young lord,
Talk to him.
aka the big flower bomb.
Yeah. Lotus
Team
boy-
no ashy elbows.
No ashy.
Uh,
You ain't never
seen him?
seen dry skin.
Yeah.
Woo-wee.
This man ain't never had dry skin. The moisturized
Never.
one.
Alex lays in a vat of men's lubriderm when he goes to bed at night. Man.
Exactly.
Every
You
night.
think there's a bed? No, it's just a vat of
It's
men's
just a
lubriderm.
vat. You know what I mean?
Moist-
Story.
Skin ain't never been so moisturized.
I know y'all
Yes.
see it.
It's your
Y'all
boy
see it.
Alex Riley. What's good, Alex?
Man, I ain't got nothing else to say.
Yeah,
Dang,
the feet speak for themselves. You know what I mean?
my man's making moves. All right.
And then we got Eric
Yeah,
D. Andrews. The D
It's a-
stands for down bad.
down
Andrews
bad. Andrews.
Says, I wish Andrews would. You know what I mean? Father of 17.
And counting.
Yeah.
Got a special
Yo,
announcement
it's
today,
Dark
actually.
Matter Daddy. It's the abominable snowman. It's Mr. Yeti. What's good? I'm out here. I'm
Mr.
doing things. I
Yeti,
got my hands in
man.
pockets,
Yeah,
I'm just
hands
out here
in
doing my
pockets,
thing.
fucking them all up.
Ain't
man.
enough hand sanitizer for these boys.
Yeah, he
Ain't
take the
enough.
whole thing in one go.
Young vaxxed out here. I got my
Ooh.
vax
Okay.
shot.
First shot.
I'm feeling reinvigorated.
Which one you get?
The Moderna.
Okay.
Not the Dubreca.
No, not the Doom
Breaker.
Dumbreca.
not the Doom Breaker. The Moderna had my fucking arm on fire.
Yeah.
My shit literally, my job, I have to work with my fucking hands all the time. I couldn't lift this bitch above my head.
Crazy.
They was looking at you crazy, huh?
They really was, but
You was in their house, they was looking at you crazy already, and then they saw that you can't lift your arms.
Yeah.
Then what'd you say
It's
to them?
It's a cold world out here for a vax boy. You know what I'm saying? But you know
Hey,
what? We about to be kissing bitches in the mouth at Parliament, and so we you know we doing it
not
right.
me, man. No,
All
I'm
three of
good.
us.
No, no, I
All
got
three
my
of us
girl.
are
I
gonna
got
Hey,
be
my
y'all, I'll be
girl
kissing
right
right
white
back.
there.
I gotta
bitches
step
in
out
Parliament.
for a second.
Eric, you out of pocket,
Anyways,
man. Hey,
welcome
shout out
back,
to
y'all.
Alyssa. Shout out to my girl.
Yeah, shouts out Alyssa, more
Hey,
Alyssa on
shout
Twitter.
out to my future girl. I love you.
Who? Name
I
drop.
What?
don't, I don't know.
Oh, I guess you
But I
can't
love
send
you.
out messages for the future. Like,
I love you. Hey, baby, go listen to my pod.
go listen to episode 9 of my pod real quick. I got a message
Hey,
in
yo,
there for you, baby
I think it's
girl.
about time you listen to episode
Hey,
9 when we
girl, I
start.
Oh
dedicate this
my
episode to
god,
you.
that's how you
For
say
you,
you love
girl.
her for the first time. I mean,
I'm
Alex,
deep,
you on another level, Alex. I appreciate
man.
it. I appreciate the energy you bring into the
I'm
game.
honest, man.
You're an honest man.
You're an honest man.
Hmm.
Yep, you're an honest man, and you're honest, man.
You're not a
Anyways,
businessman. You're a businessman.
getting into it. You know what we're here for. We're here to talk about some shit. We're here to get into it, down to the nitty gritty. Today we're talking about cryptocurrency, the state
Yeah,
of it, what shit's out there, new shit. What's good, what we got in our pocket, what's in your wallet,
man.
what jingle is that? What company is that?
What's
What's
in
in your
your
wallet?
wall? I don't
Capital
know.
One? Is that
Hey,
Capital
but they're
One?
not paying us, so we don't need to talk
They
about
not
it.
paying us.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, it
Yeah,
don't
fuck
matter.
them. Fuck
It don't
Capital
matter.
One. No, just kidding. Sponsor us.
Yeah, just sponsor us, and then
Sponsor
we'll
us.
talk about you all
And
you
then
want.
we'll freely talk about it. But yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about cryptocurrency today. Um, either y'all, strike it big with cryptocurrencies yet?
Man, I've gone so back and forth with
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
crypto.
pretty
I
much.
mean, as y'all know, I do a lot of investing anyways. I got a
Yeah.
couple of portfolios here and there. Um, and so, like a couple years ago, I bought a couple $100 worth of Dogecoin back when it was like cheap. And
Yeah.
then I sold maybe with a $50 profit. It wasn't much. Um, and then, what we're seeing right now with Bitcoin, uh, I mean, it's lost nearly what 20%, almost 20%.
Oh yeah, it's dipping right now.
Yeah, it's
In
crazy.
the last month, it's dipped 25.69%.
Mm-hmm.
So it's taken a hit. I'll probably, once it like really bottoms out, I'll probably get back into some. I had some Bitcoin and I had some Ethereum, and I always keep money in Doge because the memes are only gonna grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
So actually about this whole Bitcoin crash, apparently, I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but apparently there was a 4chan insider who predicted this happening, the entire crash for Bitcoin, and they knew exactly where it was going to go and when, and they were telling everybody to sell their shit um, because it's going to go down. And what they were doing, well, the reason it was going to go down is because he had some insider knowledge, knowing that
Tesla,
no, not Tesla.
because that's the big thing that's made it move right now.
I know something
It's
happened with China recently too. They like
what
China,
stopped sale of it or something like
yeah,
that.
China's not allowing their banks to like do business in Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and that paired with Elon Musk. Elon Musk said that he's no longer they're no longer taking Bitcoin to sell or buy Teslas.
Hmm.
Um, and what made Tesla, or like what made Bitcoin like shoot up over the last couple of months is because of its increased legitimacy,
Hmm.
with with places like Tesla and more companies in tech specifically trying to get into Bitcoin and sort of diversify how they deal with their money by having some of it vested in Bitcoin.
right,
um, and but then when Elon Musk said that he was no longer doing that, it sort of had a ripple effect, and everybody started panic selling.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
and
I don't think it was panic sell. I don't think all of it was panic selling.
oh no,
What it
there definitely was a lot
I'm sure
because
there was a lot of panic selling, but I think the reason for such a huge dip was, according to this dude, this insider who predicted it, he was saying there was supposed to be a planned sell off to basically fuck over like a, a, a high stakeholder in Bitcoin. And apparently it's supposed to be Elon Musk who they're trying to fuck over. But I mean, you can't really
I
fuck over
only
Elon
half
Musk. But
believe that, like,
you think
because
so?
yeah, no, because
Even though it
here's
was
the
predicted like before?
dude, all everything. If you go into 4chan, if you go into like Discord, like I'm a part of a bunch of like communities with people talking Bitcoin
Mm-hmm.
and all that shit, and there's always someone in there talking about how there's going to be a sell off or you buy crypto now, or this and that. This is the whole Wall Street bets thing where
Yeah.
you basically have a lot of people who are speculating, and if you can get enough people to speculate in the same direction, then it becomes, well, you can make money off of that basically.
True.
And so
It's
at any point, if there was going to be a big sell off, you could probably go on Reddit, Discord, 4chan, and you could find someone that has predicted it. And right now, there's probably people predicting that it's going to go back up, or that it'll continue to bottom out, just because there's so many people invested in this. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's a whole new beast.
Yeah,
I guess like if you make enough predictions, one's bound to be right.
yeah, and
Um,
and they
True.
do this. They do this like this thing where they'll have like bots flood a lot of these forums, and they'll be like, all right, everybody sell on this day, or everybody hold, keep buying until we get to however much. And it's so hard to keep up with, because you really have
it's
to,
kind of fucked up.
you either ride or you sink. There's no perfect way to navigate how these things go.
It just seems a little too easy to manipulate the
Well,
cryptocurrency
and,
market.
and that's the other thing too, man. Like Doge hit an all-time high right before Elon Musk performed on Saturday Night Live, and
It went
even in one of the promo pictures that he took, he like photoshopped Doge with all the cast members, and it
right,
like
but it
and
went
it's
down.
well, and it went up the week leading to, and then as
Hmm.
soon as it started, it went down.
Plummeted.
Yeah.
That was
Um,
crazy. I
Why do
knew
you
that
think
shit was
that?
gonna happen
Why do you guys think that was?
be,
because I think a lot of the times with stocks as well, and I'm just gonna say this up front, I am not even close to a fucking expert. I gamble on purpose, and I don't know the technicality of it. I literally just gamble because I think it's fun and funny. But I think a lot of the times when there's like a big prediction, when there's like an easy prediction of like a stock going up, I feel like that those are the times where it goes down the most.
yeah.
Uh, like I'm trying to
What
think of another example.
they
There was
call that
like,
a they call that a pump and dump. That's what that move is
yeah, they
you
build up the
can
hype.
you can build up the hype, and if you're somebody that is in charge of when the hype train begins, you can pump it full of your own money so that people see that it's moving, especially with crypto and stuff like that, because you can trade crypto after hours as opposed to stocks that have business hours. But
Hmm.
like with crypto, you can pump and dump it pretty quickly, and that's why you see so much of that reflected in these communities.
Yeah, and with like meme coins like fucking Dogecoin,
Yeah,
they are even more unpredictable.
yeah.
Like, of course, there are people who can, manipulate it, but they're more unpredictable because, like, if you think about when it went up a lot, it's when Elon Musk randomly fucking tweeted about it. And nobody knew he was gonna
Hmm.
tweet about it, but it went up high. I think if everybody was anticipating him tweeting about it, it wouldn't have had the same effect that it did. And
Right.
then him just like kind of random. And I'm sure there was like tons of insiders and shit who bought like before he made that first tweet talking about Dogecoin.
Well,
Uh,
and that's the thing is with Elon, there can't be insiders, because if Elon is just sort of a chaotic force in the crypto economy. You know what I mean? So
mhm.
him just randomly deciding to tweet That's not something that's you can even calculate on any level.
Mm. He's
And
kind of
so,
fucking it up.
well, and so this is an interesting topic because Elon is basically proof that the cryptocurrency, the current form of cryptocurrency, has its problems. It's
I
not
was just about to say
it's
that.
not the
He's
perfectly decentralized currency that we hoped it to be,
hmm
because if Elon can say stuff to influence it, even like a couple of $1,000s, if you have a large enough portfolio of crypto that you're holding and you can just tweet and watch it go up, and then when it goes up you can sell, that defeats the whole purpose of a decentralized currency.
literally, and I feel like it makes me wonder if he is trying to make this point, or if he's just a chaotic fucking human who just does random shit sometimes because he feels like it. Because
Yeah,
if he was like, if this was a whole thing to just kind of like prove a point that cryptocurrency is not exactly a viable form of currency,
currency.
like to replace our current form, which I mean, who's to say it is or isn't? It honestly doesn't fucking matter. Our current system doesn't work, and cryptocurrency probably won't be any different. But
Yeah.
it would be interesting if this was like a whole thing for him to just kind of like prove the point of currency isn't real. So
Well,
basically,
and that's essentially like what we've seen, you
hmm
know. The hope of cryptocurrency was to have a decentralized, but we can't have a decentralized currency if there are still these factors in place, like Elon Musk tweeting or being host on Saturday Night Live, that completely destabilize them. You know, um, I think what would solve this is if there was a wider range of things available for you to use your crypto on, that would give it more equity in being an actual, like, currency. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Part of the reason why the Tesla thing was so big, because it was like, well, look, I mean, you could buy a Tesla in cash, or you could pay for a Tesla in an alternative currency that
hmm
had been kind of stable because Tesla was involved. But that was like the biggest part. If you had like if it was like a mixed drink, okay, the body of the mixed drink goes up to the rim, and the mixed drink itself is cryptocurrency and all, or let's just say specifically Bitcoin. And so the most of the liquid that's in the mixed drink is Tesla, and then everything else makes it a drink as well, but it's mostly Tesla. But if you take Tesla out, then the whole thing is a lot less, it's a lot worthless. But if you had more equal parts to it, then taking one away won't make it plummet as much. So
right.
there needs to be more legitimate companies that are actively working to help stabilize it. And
Just
the
like a
only way,
better foundation.
yeah, and the only way to do that is, and this is going to be the hard thing, is that you need to take away Elon's power of it. Elon will probably always have sway with it, but if you could make it so that his sway is essentially worth a lot less than it has been, then Bitcoin will be more worthwhile in the long run.
Mm.
And even with, like, you know, um, he's not the only, company that was doing business with Bitcoin. The market in the last couple of days has been pretty crazy, because have so many tech companies, because the tech sector sort of makes up a large portion of the Dow Jones nowadays. The tech
Mm.
sector having dealings with crypto means that if crypto goes bad, then those companies lose money. And if those companies are being devalued because of crypto, then the Dow Jones plummets. And a couple of days ago, the Dow Jones hit its lowest point since, I think, January. And that's because there is a large tech sell-off as a direct result to crypto being devalued by Elon Musk. And so it's just a chain reaction. Right now, I think crypto is being plugged in more and more, but I also think there was a lot of hype beasts trying to get their companies involved with crypto. And
100%.
I think once, and I do think Bitcoin will go back up, but I think it'll go back up a little more cautiously now that companies can see the full scope of the chaos that can ensue when someone has so much sway over this alternative currency.
Yeah. Um, one thing that I do like about cryptocurrency is it kind of gives, I mean, in a way, it kind of gives the power. Uh, I mean, I guess in a more perfect world, kind of gives more power back to the people as far as like their currency, and it's bred a lot of like innovation as far as like making some shit like Dogecoin, which is just a fucking joke. It's literally a meme, and
Yeah.
it's basically like, I mean, obviously anything is only valued at what we value it as, but they made a
This
joke.
more so, yeah.
Yeah, they made a joke worth something, like worth a lot of something, to where everybody cares about it. Everybody, I mean, not everybody, but it's a thing. And that's just probably something somebody created because they thought it was funny. Or
Yeah, it was literally
yeah,
a joke. Like
yeah.
they were like, all right,
And
we'll
I
do
guarantee they
this.
probably didn't think it'd take off. And
They
that
didn't.
also and that also goes into shit like NFTs, which honestly, I don't have too much of an opinion on NFTs themselves, but I do like the innovation it breeds. It irritates me when like fucking random people can just sell shit for uh like thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like I think Jake Paul sold a fucking NFT that I'm positive he didn't even make
Well,
for
yeah.
like, yeah, for like who knows how much, like tons.
I'm
And
salty about the NFTs, man.
I feel like I feel like it was a big dream,
Yeah.
but it just kind of
It's
didn't.
definitely getting abused right now by the
Well,
celebrities.
and
100%.
that's it. The NFTs were meant to be, a thing that every artist could access, right? Poor, big, it didn't matter. The idea
Right.
was that you could have anyone could create, they could mint an NFT and then they could sell the NFT, and then they still have the ability to make money as the NFT is traded around between crypto wallets. But what we're seeing is, and this is something that I've fallen victim to because I tried to dabble in NFTs, and there's problems for multitudes of reasons. But like the first is that the NFTs are becoming more unaccessible to like artists like myself, where I don't have thousands of followers. So making an NFT is not going to make me money. Artists have to
Right.
pay to make NFTs. Everyone has to pay to make an NFT. The
Hmm.
process is you have a thing that you want to make into a token, and so then you upload the thing. I use Rarible, and you decide how many copies you want to make, how many tokens you want to make, and then the process of minting costs what's called a gas fee in the Ethereum because it uses the Ethereum blockchain as opposed to Bitcoin. Ethereum is like Bitcoin's brother. So Ethereum, and in order to put your NFT and have it minted, you have to pay money, and the cost of it depends on the demand of the people who are in charge of minting and interacting with the Ethereum blockchain, and then um, it also depends on the cost of Ethereum because you're paying in Ethereum. So as Ethereum has gained a whole bunch of recognition and a lot of hype, Ethereum was like going up. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
had money invested in an Ethereum, and I put $50 in, and at the peak I probably made another $50 just because Ethereum was doing so well.
Hmm.
But that also drove up the cost that it cost to make NFTs, and then
Right.
um but it was such a like a thing, like I paid, I think, $26 to mint 10 tokens of an illustration that I did. And I mean, if you're selling the token uh for $10, it becomes
No
expensive.
profit.
Yeah. And ideally it's like, well, that's not so bad if the person that I'm selling it to then trades the NFT and then it rises in price and then I have, a certain percentage of every transaction. But because it's
That I didn't know.
oversaturated, yeah, but because it's oversaturated, it becomes a thing where you're just creating NFTs and they're just sitting there if you don't have like a wide audience, you know.
Yeah, it
Celebrities,
easily became a popularity contest.
yeah, and celebrities could make NFTs and sell them because everybody wants those. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I
The
think,
status gives it value.
yeah, exactly. And then you can trade it around. But I think what we're gonna see is that a lot of these NFTs that people are buying for hundreds of dollars might go for substantially less. Um, Outside of the really big ones, like Beeple sold his NFT for millions of dollars. I think some of the most money ever given to a living artist, which is crazy. Um, and so for some people, the NFT thing worked. For others, it didn't. And then there's also the environmental cost of the NFTs, which is part of why Elon didn't want to stay in crypto,
Right.
because the environmental cost is pretty high. Like it takes a lot of electricity to mint NFTs. I minted, I think, 3 NFTs in the course of like maybe 2 weeks, and I was able to. There's like an online calculator, and I used like 4 or 5 months of electricity in an average household
Jesus.
That's
to
fucking
make
crazy.
them.
What the fuck?
That's
Yeah,
insane.
and so that paired with everyone hopping on NFTs, people not making money, and then on top of that, there's a larger environmental impact to that plays into it.
It's not
um
viable.
it's not but they're working on it. There's some other NFTs. There's a group called Legend, and they mint NFTs on a different blockchain, a blockchain that is actually far better for the environment, or far it costs far less than Ethereum or Bitcoin transactions on their, you know, on their blockchains.
An interesting use I've seen with the NFT shit is this shit called Decentraland. Have y'all heard of it?
No. What?
No,
What?
tell us about it, Eric.
Decentraland.
What is
Eric,
that?
tell us about it.
Yeah, Decentraland. It's this
Wow.
it's kind of like a game, kind of like Second Life. Y'all remember that Second Life?
Yeah, I remember Second Life.
Yeah,
No,
it's kind of
I don't
like
know what
that.
that is.
Basically you make your avatar and you go into this world, like it's this live world where you can, go around, you can look at NFTs, you can trade shit. They have their own blockchain currency in the game called Mana
Interesting.
that you can use to buy things in game or whatever. And there's also a way that you can buy like property. And the property is basically an NFT, but you can do whatever you want with it. You can make it to where you can make it like a fucking casino where people can come and gamble their
Their
mana or
mana.
whatever. Yeah, it's pretty dope. And I'm pretty sure you could just go through it through your browser as long as you have MetaMask.
Oh, okay.
um, I was gonna look into it more.
Decentraland. I need to check that out.
Decentraland. Yeah, it's interesting. Uh,
Um, it's funny that you brought up Second Life, because in the discussion of NFTs, Second Life technically was one of the first
yeah,
things that actually used NFTs, because
yeah.
there's
Not
people that
officially, but yeah,
not on any crypto blockchain,
blockchain.
but it's the same thing where you have creators in Second Life that, like, literally there are people out there who, when Second Life was super big, that's all they did was they created content within Second Life, and then sold it for real money. um that's why the NFT thing is so weird and interesting, because it's kind of been around in various forms for a long time. um it's just, you can tell it's this recent incarnation is probably the most popular though.
Hmm. Honestly, if you think about it, we as like humans always kind of make a way to form some sort of like market. Like within Second Life, there was a whole market with all types of shit they were doing in there, like making trades with their in-game currency, or even trading like real life shit. Like, oh, I'll make you I'll design your character for you for a fee, or something like that. And the same thing kind of happens in what's that shit called? What's that VR chat? They have the same kind of thing.
Oh
That's
yeah,
also kind of like Second Life, and they have a lot of like transactional shit going on in there. And it's like it makes me think of like what I mean. Sure, we do need currency. Honestly, like it's not real because it's not. I mean, it's just the shit we assign value to, like gold. Uh, I mean, it has its uses, but again, it's only expensive because we think it's expensive,
yeah.
and because of its scarcity or whatever.
And
So
with gold, yeah, it's like we're technically on the gold standard, where the U.S.
yeah.
currency is for every bill that's printed, we're supposed to have gold equal to that, and we know that not to be true anymore. But yeah,
Hmm.
like we definitely assign the value to certain things. It could be shells. In an alternate reality, we could be trading in shells.
Shells, favors. I mean, I'm sure it probably
Some people
starts out
still
as favors. Some people
favors.
still do
Why is that the
favors.
first thing you jump to, man?
I don't know,
Shells,
because that's like
favors,
the
maybe
that's
of the sexual kind. I don't
I
know.
didn't say anything
Down
like
bad
that.
air
I'm
coming
just
out.
saying like that's probably the most primitive form of currency. Like, hey,
Yeah,
if
it's the
you
barter
give me
system.
that ham, I'll fucking give you a massage or something. Or something,
Eric, man, down bad. I give you a
Eric, what you be
massage.
doing, bro?
I'll be chilling.
You be trading hams for
Man,
favors?
I
you be
hey
trading
man,
ham.
look,
You be trading ham for massages.
basically
That good old swine. That swine swap.
basically you gotta work with what you got. You know what I'm saying?
Swine
I don't
swap
have if
2021.
if I don't have
Swine
access
swap.
to hams, like what do I have access to? Massages. I could do unlimited massages.
Oh
So
my
shit, you know what I
god.
mean?
Hey, you different, Eric.
Yeah, you different,
I'm just
different.
saying, I'm thinking ahead. Y'all still in 2012. I'm in 2039.
Swine swapping Eric, man.
Swine swap. Y'all ever watch the
Uh,
show Wife Swap?
when I was a kid,
No,
yeah, that,
I
Me
remember the Dave
too.
Chappelle spoof of it,
yeah,
and that shit was
and
fucking
that's
Glitter
funny.
Washington. Yeah.
That show was kind of hilarious.
The
I
show was
watched it
it
all the
was
time.
such a weird premise. I didn't even realize how
Oh,
weird it was at the
super
time. But it's just
weird.
like,
Yeah,
all right, we're gonna switch
We're
your
gonna
what's the
wife with
point
swap
of
another
wives.
swapping?
one.
Like, what is the point?
There's no
And
fucking
and
point.
all the husbands were like misogynists, and they're like, well, my wife makes me sandwiches and
Dude,
cleans the
all the
counter.
fucking time.
And then there's always
And the
like a
wives would be
shitty
all
kid.
sassy.
Yeah,
Oh my god. That famous kid that no wait, he wasn't that famous, but he was like a meme for a minute when she kept like taking his food from him, and he was like, "That's good for me." You know what I'm
Oh,
talking about?
I know
no.
what you're talking about. The little kid.
She was like,
Yeah.
"We eat healthy at our house." So, and then he started like packing his shit up,
Oh,
and
I
then he
remember
like
that. Yeah,
for
and
real
he like
fucking
leaves.
left. He like
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was like, this kid's
That
a
show
fucking
that show is
badass.
fucking
It's
weird,
just
man.
ridiculous.
That shit's
Why
insanity.
and why'd it have to be wife swap, you know? Like why wasn't it
Wife
just
swap.
fucking, I don't know, like one husband, wife, what are those called? Couple swap. Why isn't it just couple swap?
Couple
Yeah.
swap. I think they eventually changed the name to something else, like spouse swap or some shit like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Uh, but there's this one scene that I'll never fucking forget in Wife Swap was, they had just swapped the wives, and it was like at the beginning they were still meeting the kids, and then he was like, "All right, it's time to meet the kids," and she meets like two of the kids, and then the last kid comes out, and the first thing this kid says is, "I can't read." And that shit has stuck with me for years. I don't even remember when I fucking watched that shit, but it was so fucking funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. Wild times for sure.
Wild
Should we
times.
go into Yasuke?
Yasuke, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go,
That was
Sure.
good.
man.
Yeah. Today,
Yasuke.
today we are starting our new series. This we are going over the first season of the animated, or actually the Netflix anime Yasuke, directed by who is it directed by? Do you know?
Is it directed by, I know it's created by LaShawn Thomas, I'm pretty sure. It's written by LaShawn Thomas, created by LaShawn Thomas, directed by LaShawn Thomas, and a couple of
Mhm.
others. LaShawn
Starring,
Thomas, I just want to talk about LaShawn Thomas real quick. That's my guy.
dude, the man
One
is
of
a
my
legend.
biggest inspirations, man. Worked on
The man
Boondocks,
is a
worked on
legend.
Black Dynamite.
Oh,
He
okay.
he
Mhm.
he taught himself how to read because he's from like Harlem originally. Never went to school, never got like a traditional education.
Mhm.
Um, wanted to get into animation, and when he wanted to do like frame by frame animation, and when he
Right.
found out that like literally all animation in the US, a lot of the development is done here, but all of the frame by frame animations are done in South Korea. So LaShawn Thomas like got up, moved to South Korea, and lived there for a period of time, like learned Korean, and was like in charge of a lot of like um just like direct animation projects. I think he worked on like Legend of Korra during that time
He did.
and a bunch of
Dude,
stuff. He's
he made
tight.
he made Cannon Busters. Have y'all watched
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Dude,
No.
Cannon Busters was so fire. I
Cannon
fucked with
Busters is
Cannon
tight.
Busters so hard.
I
It reminded me a lot of Cowboy Bebop.
yeah, that's one of his big influences. He like 10 years ago, that was the first Kickstarter that I ever funded. Was he did a Kickstarter for Cannon Busters, and it was literally just the pilot. And I just got that shit like 6 months ago. It's been completed for forever, but I feel like he just has been so busy
hmm
that he just like, I don't know, forgot about it or something. But he also had a really large Facebook group. It was LaShawn Thomas, and like he basically posted a lot on there, and he would give like art tips. And like when I was in high school, I was a part of that, and he was just like super influential into like the way I do stuff now, and the way I like develop my artistic ability and all that, because he's just like a badass. And now he barely, I don't think he has like an Instagram, and he might have a Twitter, but he doesn't even update that stuff because he's like
Crazy.
he's
He's kind
hella
of
busy.
reclusive.
And now he's like super reclusive.
hmm
So big ups to LaShawn Thomas, because
Shouts out to LaShawn
that's like
Thomas.
one of
I
Yeah.
my,
know you.
I love that dude.
I definitely gotta do some more research on him. I've seen
He's dope.
Boondocks and like Black Dynamite, but I wasn't familiar with the name behind it. So I'll have to do a little bit more
hmm
research on that. So dope. Super dope.
Shouts out to
He's
you,
hella dope.
LaShawn Thomas. I know you're listening to our podcast. We
He's a big
appreciate it.
fan, friend of the
Big
pod.
up. Big up. But yeah, Yasuke, a peaceful boatman once known as the Black Samurai, is pulled into conflict when he takes a little girl with mysterious powers under his wing. It stars Lakeith Stanfield. I'm a huge fan. I fucks with Lakeith Stanfield.
Me
Also
You
a
too.
like
listener
you
of
like
the
him
pod.
moaning in Clubhouse?
I heard that wasn't
Oh
him
my
though.
God.
Or was
Oh
that him?
my God. I
It was
forgot about
it was
that.
playing from his microphone.
And
So
it was
even if
and they were doing a thing like I'm pretty sure they were doing a thing like there's like let us hear you moan or some
yeah, it
shit
was
like
like a
that.
moaning room, and he was like playing moaning sounds from his. Lakeith's a weirdo, but I love him,
He's
man.
weird
Yeah,
as fuck.
He's
he
fucking
is super weird,
hilarious.
but
He's hilarious. He's
I fuck
funny.
with him.
Yeah. But yeah, what y'all think
First
of
impression.
first impression of episode. Oh, yeah, also we're doing episode 1 and 2. We're going to be doing 2 episodes at a time because these episodes are 30 minutes long, and as a little more transparency, we want to do an hour of an episode for an
An
hour of
hour,
discussion.
an hour of content for an
Hour
hour
of
of
content for
discussion.
an hour of discussion. Yeah, that makes more sense. As far as like the shows go and stuff. But Marcus, what was your impression of episode 1? First impressions.
I really liked it. Um, it's definitely not what I was expecting. Like
Not at all.
I've been waiting for some Yasuke content for a while, and I was also kind of confused when it was announced because I thought Yasuke was gonna be live action, and I think there's still gonna be some sort of live action Yasuke.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, okay, it's an anime, dope. And then surprised because I thought it was gonna be a historical rendition of Yasuke's story, and it's definitely not. There's robots, there's magic.
No,
Um,
Yeah.
so that was interesting. But
that threw me. That really threw me off.
it threw me too, man. I was just like, I thought the first part of it was like a look into the future of the Japan that Yasuke left behind. You
I
know,
was
I
like
was
a
like,
starts after like his like life or whatever.
yeah, but it's in
It's an
fact,
alternate world.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
an alternate reality of the Edo period in Japan. So yeah, it was cool. Alex, what about you, man? What did you think? Impression.
So I liked it too. I went into this blind. I wasn't familiar with Yasuke or the story behind Yasuke prior to the show. So before I started watching, I did like a quick like wiki of like who Yasuke was, like one of the first black samurais in the Japan or that was in Japan, whatever. So I was like, oh, that's cool, you know. But I liked it, you know. It was like you said, kind of like it's an anime, so it's pretty cool. I wasn't a big fan of the animation, to be honest. Like I wasn't a huge fan of that per se, but I mean, it's pretty cool. Definitely show I can watch and binge, you know.
Yeah.
Anime reminds me of like uh it reminds me a lot of the Boondocks, but more animated version of the Boondocks. Like the
Yeah.
Boondocks worked in its anime influence, but it didn't have like it wasn't like animated like anime.
Yeah.
Like if you watch a
Shout
lot of
out
the
to Aaron
Boondocks,
McGruder.
shouts the fuck out to Aaron McGruder. He did his shit with that. But yeah, if you watch a lot of the Boondocks, you will see how um a lot of like when somebody's talking for a long time, there is just their mouth moving. Like
Yeah.
they're like that's just kind of a way to save them time with animation. And they did that a lot with the Boondocks. And it worked because it's just, it's just a cartoon. This is kind of like a full on anime, but kind of in that same style. I fucks with the animation myself because it's just I don't know, it's kind of a like nostalgia thing. I feel like if it was anything else, like I probably and also I think Cannon Busters kind of looks like this a little bit too.
And it makes
Uh,
sense because they're both
yeah.
done by LaShawn.
Hmm.
And I don't know for a fact, maybe I could look at it, but LaShawn has this, I think his animation company is called um State Light or something like that. And let's see, an animated Japanese. No, it's not. But yeah, I definitely get those vibes where you can look at it and you can see that it's not necessarily anime in the traditional sense that like we come to know it, you know.
Right.
Um, and I'm not sure what lends to that specifically. Because a lot like most big anime come from manga.
Hmm.
So there's already a lot of like footwork that's done when a manga is so successful that it becomes an anime. This is just an anime, it's not like a manga. Same thing with Cannon Busters had some comics, but it wasn't the same thing.
Hmm.
So it's an interesting thing to think about, like,
Yeah.
and maybe research more, just like, what makes these Netflix animes done by LaShawn Thomas have sort of the distinct feel that they do. Uh, yeah,
Makes you
but
wonder
what
how much of his hand he has in it
I
in the
feel like it's
animation
pretty.
style.
I feel like it's pretty heavy-handed. I don't know exactly what his role is at Netflix, but I think he has a big role specifically with the anime division at Netflix. And I also
Hmm.
know Netflix in the last year has put a lot of their money into making um original IPs
Yeah.
specifically for anime.
Yeah.
Um, like Netflix is kind of, they're trying to create a whole bunch of new anime or like reboot old anime, as we've seen with
Devilman Crybaby.
Devilman Crybaby and the boxing one. What's that one called? Like
Uh
Baka?
uh wait, are you talking about wait, what's the name of it? Which boxing one is it? Wait, are
It's
you
like
talking about Baki? Oh yeah, Baki
Baki.
the Grappler. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They
So they redid that too.
mhm.
So I think they have like kind of a mix. But yeah,
Baki's
Eric,
fucking cold.
What was your impression of this?
Just pretty much just like you, Marcus. I went in. I know a decent amount about Yasuke from like my own like studies, as well as he kind of comes up a lot in video games. In the game
Hmm.
Neo, I believe he was in Neo 2. I don't remember if he's in Neo 1, but he's
Oh,
a character
Neo
in Neo.
NIOH.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
okay, gotcha.
yeah,
I never
yeah,
played
yeah.
those.
Oh,
yeah.
they're so fucking dope.
Yeah,
They're dope as fuck. He's a character in Neo, and you get to kind of interact with him and Nobunaga and Hanzo
Nobunaga is
Hasashi.
in
It's,
everything. Everything
Nobunaga's
that has
everywhere.
to do with samurai is Nobunaga's always there
Has to be.
in some capacity. It's so funny because I mean this is just one dude, but he's in
Has to be.
every. There's always a Nobunaga. There's always some sort of
Hanzo Hasashi.
Hanzo. Yeah.
yeah.
Um. These are just samurai
Wait,
staples.
Hanzo Hasashi. Is that right?
Hanzo
Or
Hattori, I thought.
Hattori Hanzo.
Yeah,
Hattori Hanzo.
Hattori Hanzo.
Hanzo
Yeah.
Hasashi is Scorpion.
I didn't want to correct you, but I was like,
Hattori
oh.
Hanzo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They're always in those. But yeah, that I guess I get a lot of my knowledge from him about him from that
From
uh
just Japanese media, man.
from Japanese media period. There hasn't been, I mean, I'm sure he's probably appeared in some Japanese anime or whatever, but there hasn't been, this is the first of its kind as far as like Yasuke goes. Um, just like Marcus, I did not expect it to be like a
Future or
future,
future tech and
yeah,
magic.
magic. I didn't expect that at all. And when it started coming up, I was like, I was really confused because I thought it was gonna be like a historical thing, just like a
Yeah,
historical thing, just going over fucking Yasuke's life, and then all of a sudden, a bitch turns into a damn werewolf, and I was like,
man.
I wasn't mad though. I was not
Yeah,
mad at all.
That shit was dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
it's kind of got that weird sort of eclectic mix of themes that only anime can do. You
Hmm.
know, because anime is always just like it's like, all right, there's a swordsman, but look, there's magic, there's robots,
Hmm.
there's werebears, and
Where?
there's dudes from Benin that can create
He is from Benin.
spectral
Yeah.
copies and I'm just and you
That
know I'm
is
not mad
cool.
at it because I've grown so accustomed to this sort of like almost a violent mashup of so many themes where it's just like yeah it makes sense, you know what I mean, like it doesn't we don't need to hear the background of everything because it just is what it is, you know. And
Hmm.
so this world that Yasuke is in is, you know, it was a big surprise and I wasn't sure at first. I was like what, and then I was like all right, you know, like I can kind of fuck with it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get like I don't know if y'all ever watched Afro Samurai, but I get
Oh
Afro
hell
Samurai
yeah.
vibes. You
Yeah,
know,
for
Yeah,
sure.
you got
that's
the
what I was thinking. I was about to say
yeah,
definitely gives me Afro Samurai vibes. You can tell that it pulls inspiration from there,
Hmm.
absolutely.
with it being like a mixture of the past and the future,
Yeah.
and
And
just
like
type of the elements they got in
you
there.
have
I fucks with
the
Afro Samurai.
quiet black protagonist.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Only difference with this guy is, you know, he's got dreads, but like
Mhm.
you sort of have this thoughtful and methodical killing machine that's not
Hmm.
always um the most motivated just to kill. You know what
Yeah,
I
he just
mean?
kind of does it when he has to.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's even more like Afro Samurai because then so Afro Samurai the soundtrack was produced by the RZA for
Uh-huh.
all of it, and for this one
Fucking
it's also
fire,
it's
Flylo.
produced by Flylo, and like Thundercats on the intro.
Hmm.
So
Fire.
you kind of get like, and obviously, you know, like RZA is old school and Flying Lotus is more contemporary, but you know, Flying Lotus at some point in his life was definitely influenced by
Oh,
RZA.
for sure.
I think
Yeah.
all hip hop
100%.
producers were because RZA was a G.
This
Shout
show,
out to RZA,
yeah.
he's a fan of the
Shouts out
show.
to RZA. We know you're listening. Hit us up if you want to be a guest on here. You know, shouts out RZA.
Hey, it's RZA.
Uh, what
Shaman
did y'all
Devil.
think about the? What y'all think about the characters in the show, like the villains and stuff, or like that we've seen so far? Like, how
Are
you
you
guys
talking
feel about
about?
them?
Oh, like
Yeah.
little ragtag group of villains that come.
The
I
rag,
fuck
Yeah.
with.
the
I like all of them. I feel like they all have a lot of personality
Even
for
the
like
racist robot.
the
the
rope
racist ass
man.
robot.
The racist robot kind of bothers me a whole bunch, man.
Me too.
And and it's not even it's like, oh, but he's black. It's just like also the dude from Benin is just always like, shut up, robot.
Yeah.
It's just like he's so used to it, but like
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, fuck that robot, dude.
I really
Right.
fuck with the dude from Benin, the witch doctor dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Powerful.
really funny, and I
It's
like
funny. It's
his
funny that
powers are
he's
dope.
it's funny that he's always the dude that fucking Yasuke hits first. Like he's like, oh, you speak Japanese, you must be, and then he gets like a
It's like
stick
hit
in
him with
his
the
face.
rope. Yeah.
And then when
He
they're
broke his
when they're
nose.
in the second episode when they like just appear in the fucking inn,
The end. Oh
uh
my god, that scene
he
was
gets
so
kicked in the
hard.
face first. Like
I
Yasuke
fucks
does
with
not
that
fuck
end
with that
scene.
dude. The end scene
That's
was dope.
that's another thing. This show has. I'm. I've only seen, like I said before, we've all only seen up to this point. Yeah, Marcus, you haven't went up ahead yet.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, we've all only up seen we only seen up to this point, and so far, the fighting scenes are
Oh yeah.
top tier for
I'm
sure.
satisfied for sure.
I really like them. I really like the mixture of like samurai, sword fighting with like fighting someone who is like a
Fighting
fucking
robots
werewolf
and
or
fighting
a robot,
werewolves and
right?
magic
Right.
and
Yeah, it's interesting to see like a viable way of like fighting him. And then like obviously when they gang up on him, he doesn't just have that plot armor to just, beat them. He gets his ass beat.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like up to this point, and I don't know if it'll ever become a thing, but we actually haven't seen him even use a sword, right?
Yeah, we
Like,
have.
well, we've seen him in his past, right? But we
Oh,
haven't seen the present him, and I feel like that'll be a cool thing, just because it's always swords are always just dope.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
When the
sure.
samurai, it's like a samurai trope where it's like, and now it's time to retrieve the sword or to forge a new sword or something. That's kind of like what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for him to
Yeah.
like really
Come
fuck
back.
shit up because he
Mhm.
fought in the first fight. He did it with like a fishing trident thing,
Yeah.
bamboo
Mhm.
attached to a metal thing, and then in the end he was only fighting with I don't think he
Whatever
had
was
anything.
around him. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
he
was just
threw like a
whatever was
pitcher
around.
at that girl. But we see in the flashbacks, his sort of ascension to the samurai caste from indentured servant,
Yeah.
serving some white European guy to
Serving under
Nobunaga's
Nobunaga.
Nobunaga's like right hand man. Um, and I think that's pretty cool. I like the back and forth. I don't always
Yeah.
like flashbacks so frequently in shows. Um, but I think it works pretty well just knowing, who he was before he was just known as the Black
Yeah.
Boatsman.
And it
Mhm.
also gives you something to look forward to, kind of what you touched on earlier, like because we haven't seen his sword skills used presently. So I mean, just seeing
Yeah.
the flashbacks, it makes you want to see. Okay, I want to see him like
Or
fight some of
maybe
these.
him, yeah, or retrieving his armor or something, that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
I
I thought
like. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, one thing that I read when I was like looking up the Wikipedia, the part where he say that little kid from that the guy who's like about to kill that little kid, and they were like scrubbing his back, and it's like, oh, his skin's real dark. Apparently, that
Yeah.
happened in real life too.
Yeah,
Like, I
that
was
was the
Yeah,
real
that was a
story of,
historical
yeah.
thing.
So I thought that was
yeah.
pretty interesting. They added that into the
Yeah,
show.
I was just actually just about to bring up, aside from all like the magic and robots and fantastical shit, they do kind of get down to what uh like what it was like to be an African in Japan at that time.
He's black.
And yeah, everybody like he's in a place where people probably have never seen a black person,
Mhm.
or the only time they've seen a black person is their servant. And it shows how stuck in their ways so many people were, and
Mhm.
how progressive Nobunaga was, taking him under his wing
Do you know
and
no? Do you
trying
know
to.
about Nobunaga? Was he kind of a big progressive shogun? I don't know anything
I
about
I
him.
know. I think he just tried to.
I know
I
he
don't
like
know if he was a
united
good person.
clans or something.
I think he wanted to unite all of Japan,
Yeah,
but
that's what he
under
wanted to
him
do. Yeah,
and
yeah.
by force. So he wasn't exactly a good person,
Okay.
but I
He was
believe that
tolerant,
I
more
believe that he
tolerant.
was tolerant and progressive, and he did not he didn't he didn't discriminate. He's like, look, I'm trying to do this thing.
Yeah.
You're a great fucking swordsman and a cool person. Come with me. He didn't care if you're black or a woman. He's just like I do like how he's portrayed in this uh show.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool. Like, as always, Nobunaga
He's
is
a he's a
fucking
he's always
dope.
a G. He always has
Yeah.
his distinctive goatee and just kind of look about him, just in everything. I feel like.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's kind of a cool mentor slash, I don't know, father almost figure to Yasuke. It seems like.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I like sort of seeing Yasuke's progress as a samurai and a warrior, and then also getting into the story that's kind of like, I feel like this story is gonna end up sort of lone wolf and cub like, with a samurai traveling around with a kid basically, and teaching the kid the ways of the world and stuff like that. Because I feel like that's a pretty, that's like another samurai trope that we see a lot of.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's
yeah.
not always with robots and magic and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. There's this one line that kind of just happens randomly, but it's like really um what would be the word? It's just like really like well placed.
The
Where I believe
Japanese.
it's no. I believe it's when it's like in the flashback when he's fighting those ninjas or the samurais.
In the
Oh,
second
the
one.
Um,
the ninjas from the Iga clan.
yeah. One
Yeah.
of them says, "History will forget you," and it's kind of true. History kind of forgot Yasuke for a while.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like probably mm, this decade he started to become more popular as like a historical figure. Like obviously they always kept records, but he wasn't like at the fort. Like no, like you were saying, Nobunaga is always in some shit. He's always in like some shit that has to do with samurai, but they would conveniently leave out Yasuke, even though he was there.
Yeah, but
So
for what for what I from what I understood, it's not like he was the main samurai under Nobunaga, right? Like,
right,
there's only a handful of samurai that I feel like are big by name, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible that he's just big by name because he was a black samurai who served under Nobunaga. And apparently, I think historically he was supposed to be like a really good swordsman.
He was
Yeah.
I think they like said that he was like one of the most athletic, and also him being so large,
Yep.
than your average
Yeah.
Japanese dude. I feel like you could fucking do some damage, just by reach, you know.
For sure.
Um yeah, it's kind of cool, it has its callbacks to like his actual biography
Mm.
intermixed with
They
this.
definitely like sneak those in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's dope.
I think it's interesting though how the show goes in and out of it's mostly English, but there are times where it's Japanese. And I
Hmm.
don't know
Mhm.
if I don't know if they'll ever address that, because it's like, usually if you'll watch an anime and it's in English, even though it's in English, they're in Japan, they're speaking
So they're
Japanese.
speaking
Yeah.
Japanese, but this one
Yeah.
it seems like they're not speaking Japanese
It seems
because
like
every
they're
now and
speaking
again he'll
English.
speak Japanese.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's even mentioned like they brought
They're
attention to
like,
it.
he
He was
speaks
like he speaks
Japanese?
Japanese.
He's like, I
Like
speak Japanese.
they're in Japan. What else would he be speaking?
Yeah.
But it's weird that they're speaking English up to that point
Yeah,
all
I
over.
agree. I
Mhm.
agree. So yeah, it's
Like even in the
contextually they are speaking English, not dub.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's I don't know. I don't know if I really like that, because it doesn't make any sense.
it
Maybe
makes
it'll
no
make more
sense.
sense later. Maybe they'll be like, "Well, we were colonized by England 100 years ago," or some
I
Yeah.
shit.
mean,
But
it is a different.
but
It's like a different dimension.
yeah, yeah. So like maybe maybe at some point they're like, and this is why we speak English so much, because like even in the market, Nobunaga was talking to everybody in English, and then dude started popping off at that little kid, and homie was like mate, and then it was just Japanese all of a sudden, and I was just like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
It was
Like,
kind of corny. Like
yeah.
he could have just not spoke Japanese at all.
Well, yeah, nobody could have spoken Japanese, and
I
we would
know
know
that.
that they were speaking Japanese
That's what I'm
because it
saying.
was all in
It's
English.
implied because
But
they're
now,
fucking in Japan.
but now they're like they have this weird,
Mate.
yeah, they've established sort of this weird precedent where at like points of like real drama, he'll speak
We
Japanese,
gotta
you
hear
know?
Lakeith's horrible fucking Japanese. he's, he's not good. He's not good
Hey
at speaking
man.
Japanese. Mate.
No, what's the other he says something else. He says something cool though in the river battle with right before the battle begins, and they're all like, "Oh, he speaks Japanese," because he's like quoting something about blood or something like that, and then the battle begins.
I'm not
But
sure. But that is
yeah,
when they call to, oh, he speaks Japanese?
yeah, that's like Japanese is the language of drama in feudal Japan in this dimension.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Yeah,
I like the river battle. I thought it was pretty dope.
the river
Yeah.
battle is tight.
That
I don't
woman
know why
turning.
I don't know why the river froze.
Yeah, I was confused about that as well.
Someone's power.
I'm assuming, but they never like showed whose power.
They never
it was.
showed who did the freezing.
Maybe it was
but
that guy in the forest that they were like
the
talking to.
fucking crazy, creepy missionary
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, I don't know. But
That guy reminds me of someone out of Berserk, honestly. Like one of those crazy like religious zealots in Berserk. That show's
Yeah,
so creepy.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't know who froze the river. I would assumed it was either him or the witch doctor dude. It's not clear on what exactly his powers are. And honestly, me calling him a witch doctor is probably a little problematic.
it's
Uh,
yeah, I think so. I don't think he's a witch doctor. He's not doing voodoo.
I know, and that's what
He's
I'm saying.
he's
I
summoning
rescind.
ancestral speakers, spirits. Oh, he's a
He's a
witch
shaman.
doctor.
He's a shaman.
Black man doing magic, witch doctor.
I rescind all my
Cancel
witch
Eric.
doctor comments.
Cancel
Cancel
Eric.
Eric, man.
Cancel me. Go ahead.
Cancel me.
Like you're the immortal. Cancel me.
Where is he? Yeah, so yeah, it's an interesting show. It's cool that we're finally off of Invincible because
Yeah.
it's like we have a completely different set of sort of standards of what we want from this
Mhm.
show, you know.
It's gonna take some adapting. Invincible, long episodes, lots to talk about each episode. This is more like a very long movie, to where the episodes are continuous. Like the end of it, one episode, it picks up the next episode.
Yeah.
Where Invincible's episodes were kind of stand alone. Like
Yeah.
they weren't just like progressive. So it'll be interesting to see how
Yeah,
this
like
one goes.
they definitely ended, like
Yeah.
that's the yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, this episode ended with Yasuke getting knocked out. So
Well, the first episode or the second one?
the second episode.
they both
this
did.
yeah.
technically.
Well, yeah, technically, yeah. I mean, we're seeing another Invincible thing where the main character just gets fucked up the whole time.
He's taking a lot of L's.
Except
He's
I
taking a lot
think
of L's.
I think Yasuke, I think he'll probably be better faster because Yasuke
I agree.
he is a good he
I
is
think
a
there'll
good
be a point where he
warrior.
just stops taking L's.
And he technically won the first battle because the bad guys like reconvened and they're like, I can't believe he beat all of you. I would have just hired him if I knew.
Mhm.
So I think that's like a dub, not in the fact that he was unable to save the mom from getting her arm shot off, and hopefully she comes back. I don't know if she's
Yeah.
dead.
I was going
I
to
think-
ask you guys, like,
Oh,
do you
yeah.
think she's dead or like, what do you think about
I don't
that?
think she's dead. I feel
I don't
like
think so either.
I think her
too
arm's just
open-ended.
gone. Yeah, like she just
What?
went down.
Her arm?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
got
got her arm shot off.
Like 70% of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That shit was wild.
Hanging
That was
on
no,
by-
crazy.
it just like
Yeah.
She's a pretty good
and-
swordsman. What's the link between
her
What's
and the
the-
others.
no, what's the link between the mom and the woman under Nobunaga? Didn't they
Yeah,
have the
that's what
same necklace?
I was
No,
wondering
that's
the same thing. Yeah.
they all had the same necklace. The mom, the lady under Nobunaga, and the ninjas all had the necklace
Yeah,
of the Iga
yeah.
clan. That's what I was saying earlier. They're all part of the Iga clan. That's like
Oh
the Iga clan crest.
shit. Okay,
And
interesting.
so there's something going on there. And what I'm thinking is that that lady under Nobunaga left her clan because they also didn't respect her as a warrior, and went to Nobunaga because Nobunaga did. And I can't remember what she called
Mulan.
her. I can't remember what she called. I don't know what you call female samurai, but she
I
calls
don't
herself.
know. I know a
She
female
uses the
ninja is a
word.
kunoichi.
Yeah, it's not kunoichi. It's something uh similar to the
Onamusha. I think that just means
something like
samurai, female
it's like
samurai in
yeah.
Japanese.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Um.
Ona.
So yeah, something like that. I think that we'll probably see more from the Iga clan in both the flashbacks and in the present day.
Yeah.
Especially since that girl, the little girl, is technically part of the Iga clan too.
Mm-hmm.
Because her mom got her necklace. So I imagine there's going to be some traveling going on with dreadlocked whatchamacallit. What's it?
Yasuke?
Yasan.
Yasuke?
Yeah.
Yasan.
Yasan.
And
I'm wondering. It makes me want. I'm also wondering if we're gonna see more of the boy.
I think so. I think it's gonna be those three. I think
Yeah.
somehow the boy is gonna come back up. I think Yasan's gonna escape, and then he's like, "All right, well, we got to go north because the little girl is sick," and so I think it's gonna be like kind of a road trip, just a feudal Japanese road trip.
Yeah.
Speaking of road trip, I love Cannon Busters because it's just a road trip
The
anime
big ass road trip.
in that
And
big ass car.
Cannon Busters is so fire, dude. It's overwhelmingly black. Is
Yeah,
I just fucks with it so much. It's so hard.
me too. Me too.
I really like the main girl, the robot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she
tight.
looks cool as fuck.
I
I
think
was thinking about.
LaShawn makes a lot of those kind of weird, quirky worlds where there is magic and technology
Yeah.
and sort of weird characters and weird personalities. I really like that. I love animes like this, man,
Me
because
too.
I don't know why in particular, other than the fact that they're just like when I want to watch anime, that's sort of what I want to watch a lot of. And so much of anime is just so dark. I
Yeah.
can't do like I have to be in a special mood for Attack on Titan. Like I couldn't
Oh,
even
I
get
love
through.
that dark
Man,
shit. I love
Attack
that
on
dark
Titan is
shit.
I
dope,
love
but
that
like
too.
it took me. I had to watch it. I had to restart it 3 times in order to like get into it. Because like
Mhm.
that first couple of episodes is just so fucking like
It's
his
It's
heavy
mom
on
dies,
dialogue.
and it's so fucking scary and like just I'm just like, man, what's that plume of smoke? And then it's just like the Titans peeking over, and I'm like, fuck,
Fucking
man, they
Colossal
just got
Titan.
there, man. The Colossal Titan, and then the Running
Mhm.
Titan, and then yeah. So
I love that shit. I truly love. I love
Yeah.
dark anime, and I
Me
also
too.
love sad anime. I like some sad shit. I basically
what
like
name a sad anime? Because I'm not sure if
Violet Evergarden.
I haven't watched that.
Would you
That's on
consider
Netflix.
Trigun sad?
No, Trigun is. Oh my
Trigun's kind
god,
of like
Trigun's
this.
so good.
It's kind of lighthearted,
It has
but
sad parts.
it has dark. I mean, all anime has sad parts. Anime is so depressing at times. It could be the coolest and it could be the most upbeat anime, but there's always going to be some sort of weird sad montage or you know a crazy intro to get you in your feelings.
I love that.
Anime intros are always so fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad we're
really
doing
love it.
anime now because
Me
I
too.
feel like
I was thinking.
I feel like it's cool because we'll be talking about completely different things than
Yeah.
Invincible because Invincible is just like comic American animation, and now we're
Mhm.
doing Yasuke, which is like rooted in Japanese animes and thematic elements.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
I look
short.
forward to this season of this. Yeah, it's gonna be short, but
How many episodes are there?
It's only 8 or
8
6. I
episodes.
think.
Let me
I
see.
think it's 8. Actually, I want to say. I'm gonna look right now.
Well, regardless,
There's only 6 episodes, so there's
okay,
gonna
so
be
we'll do
three
three
episodes this
Yasuke
season.
episodes. Yeah.
Either way, I'm looking for. Oh shit, I'm spoiling it for myself. Fuck.
Don't come on, man.
I was looking at the screen tiles. Damn.
Don't, man, turn away.
I did.
All right.
But yeah, I look forward to this season. I think it's gonna be a good one. I think
Me too.
season one, it turned. I feel we had it was bumpy. Y'all stuck with us, but I feel like we're finally figuring shit out. We're gonna be all upgrading our equipment soon. You guys are getting mics, right?
Yes.
My
I mean,
mic was supposed to get in tonight, and I'm pissed that it's not here.
I have this mic. I think I'm just gonna give it to Davon. Like it's just a little cheap ass mic, but I'm sure it's better than whatever he has. I think he just has I think he just uses his headphones or something. But
I'm
I
using
used to
my
use
headphones right now, but yeah,
yeah, I used this mic for my last podcast, so I'm probably just gonna give that to him.
you should. And
Yeah.
Alex, you getting a mic? I
Yeah, I'm
sent
probably
Alex
getting
the
one
mics that
pretty
I was
soon.
looking at.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's the pod, y'all. Thanks for sticking
Let's
with
do
us.
our
Oh,
let's do our
ratings. Would you we're gonna rate them two at a time. So
We're gonna rate
what do you think?
the
Should we rate?
blocks.
Okay. So what do you
So
think of
episodes 1 and 2.
yeah, what was your rating, Marcus?
I would say probably like a solid 8.
Okay.
I really like the show. I'm interested to see like where it's gonna go. There's a pretty good balance between action. I think the first episode was a little bit slow,
Yeah.
just sort of between the back and forth timeline, but not really seeing a whole lot until the river battle. The second episode, anime is interesting because there's just so much exposition. There's a
There
lot
is.
to be learning, and like little details like the Iga clan. So I like that kind of thing. So I'll give it an 8 because I'm excited to see where it goes.
Me too.
Eight for both of them, or
Yeah,
8 for the
we're
block.
rating them both at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, gotcha,
Together as a block, yeah.
gotcha. I'd probably do the same, honestly. Like Marcus said, the first episode was a little bit slower, but I mean, there are a lot of things that I like about the show. Like Yasuke is a really interesting character, especially like his background, and all the villains seem really interesting too. I'm really curious about that little girl and her powers and what that actually entails. So I
Me
mean, that
too.
alone will make me want to like keep watching the show. But I'll give it like
That,
an 8 for sure. I mean, like, yeah, what were you saying?
oh, I was just saying that guy thinks that that girl is the key to taking over Europe or some shit. So
Yeah, so
yeah.
kind of want to see how that plays out. So yeah, definitely very solid, and I'm glad I started watching the show.
Yeah.
Eric, what do you think, man? What do you rate it?
I think I'll rate these first two episodes at a I think I'll just say like a 7.5. I did like them. I'm enjoying the show. I'm into it for sure. Uh I think it's going a little slow. Even though there was a few fights, I think, but then again, that's pretty much only one episode, like because they're only like 30 minutes long. So I think that's kind of like taking me out of it a little bit, the slow pacing due to
Yeah.
episodes and how we're watching them. Like normally this is probably something that I would just binge in like a day or so.
Honestly,
Uh,
yeah.
so
Right.
watching it slowly and how the episodes are set up, it's kind of tough uh to
Yeah, because
stay in it.
6 episodes equates to like 3 hours essentially,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is just like you said, like a long movie.
That's yeah, 3 hours. That's like 3 episodes of what we're kind of more used to these days. Like
And it's
hour-long episodes.
it's definitely at the anime style pacing. I think
Yeah, true.
in the last 10 years, I feel like American media has gotten like
Longer.
they usually it gets longer for one, but it also gets into shit and starts killing people a lot faster. Invincible
Yeah.
episode 1, people were dying.
Yep.
Game of Thrones episode
I
1,
think
boy
Game
gets
of
thrown from
Thrones.
tower. Like I
Honestly,
feel
I
like
think
that
Game
kind
of
of fucked us up.
I think Game of Thrones really influenced media
I think so too.
a whole lot.
Specifically American media.
Uh-huh. But yeah, other than those like little things that I'm picking at, I think the show's great. I definitely look forward to Yasuke whooping some ass. I can't wait for that
It's
moment.
coming.
There's always
Yeah.
that moment where he gets
Yeah.
the sword. I don't know if somebody's gonna forge him a sword. I don't know if he's gonna find. I don't know if he's gonna go. I hope it's like he goes back to somewhere where he like left it, and then he pulls it out, and then that's
Mhm.
just a wrap for everybody.
They
Like,
show him drawing it, and
yeah,
he's just,
oh
he
my
looks at his
god, I'm really
reflection,
looking forward.
sees his eyes, and he's like,
Uh,
"I'm gonna go kill some motherfuckers." You know,
yeah, like
that'll
they
be
fuck
tight.
around and like kill the little boy, and then he's like, oh nah,
He's like, "Oh hell
the
no!"
last
Dust off
straw.
the old sword,
Mhm.
and
I don't know if y'all played God of War. Have y'all? Have y'all played the new God of War?
not
the
the new
new
one.
First off, I don't know if you guys are gonna play it, but I would recommend watching it, like
Yeah,
all the cutscenes and shit.
I've watched the first like 10 hours of it.
It's oh my god, that game
That
was
shit's so good.
truly a fucking masterpiece. Uh,
When Ball first shows up, and you're like
Balder.
at the house, that shit
Oh
is
my
fucking.
god. Oh
That
my!
fight
I
scene
could
is
literally talk about that
crazy.
game for a fuck. I could probably
Yo,
talk
That when
about
they
that
kept going
scene
like
for an
back
hour.
and forth, like fighting, like hitting. He like threw a mountain at him or something. Like I think I
he
watched it.
Something like that.
he hits him through a mountain.
Okay, yeah, I think I
And
did
then
watch
there's like
that.
a crack that's created, and it's like
Uh-huh.
Dude,
it's like a
from the
it's
moment
it's fucking nuts.
from that
And he's like
first
all old and
punch,
like worn down, right? Like he's kind of like a little bit older and
kinda.
weaker. Okay.
Ball is
He's
just
like a fucking uh Kratos is like a lobster. He just ages and gets stronger.
yeah.
But literally literally from that first punch, and he just like punching him over his roof. You're just like, this is about to be
Holy
some
shit.
fucking heat. But I brought up
And it
I brought up
God of War.
God of War because there's a scene that hit me truly emotionally when he goes back into his house, lifts up the floorboards, and pulls up the chaos blades
Oh
that he
yeah.
put away for
Yeah,
good,
that
and
shit
you
was
hadn't
tight.
been like he hadn't been using them the whole game.
Yeah.
But up into that point, he puts them on, and then he's like seeing Hera's ghost, and I'm just like, yo, this shit is a fucking that game was a masterpiece, and I cannot wait for the second one. Can't wait. But I digress.
I
Yasuke.
digress. Yasuke. Let's go.
Yasuke, a great
Let's
show.
get
I
it.
can't wait to get into it. But that's it. That's the pod, as
That's
Marcus
the
would say.
pie.
As Marcus would say.
Bye.
Wait, y'all can catch me at PG the
Hey.
Villain,
PG
nigga.
the villain.
Catch me at PG the Villain on Twitter. Find our
Black
podcast on
Planet.
at Tapped In Pod. Find me Black, on Black Planet. Find our podcast Twitter, our official podcast Twitter at Tapped In Pod. Marcus, find Marcus on the at Omega Marcus's on Twitter.
So
Men's
Omega.
Luber at Men's Lubriderm. He got the name. Buy it back from him, Lubriderm. Come on, what y'all doing?
Yeah,
What are
cut
y'all
the
waiting
check.
for?
Stop playing
Cut
with
a
me.
check.
Cut that man a check. Y'all know y'all
Cut them
need
in
it,
a
man.
check.
I know y'all
But
seen Chipotle flirting with girls on Twitter.
Right.
Men's
Y'all doing the
Lubricum.
same. Or 7-Eleven wildin'. Or was that 7-Eleven?
That was 7-Eleven.
I
Like,
don't
y'all
know.
gonna get some Slurpee this morning or some
Bruh.
shit? Yo, I can't.
Getting
I
Slurpee
love
this
that
morning.
shit. I cannot fucking lie. I love
Hey,
that
Slur
shit.
Peeps.
Oh my god, Slurpees. All those fucking novelty
That's
Twitter
what I was
business accounts.
tweeting. That's what I tweeted yesterday. I'm a fool when it comes to all
Dude.
that funny Twitter accounts by
Yeah, that brand
brands.
marketing and
They
shit.
That
Yeah.
fucking
shit's
crack me up. They crack me
hilarious.
up when they do it right.
Sometimes
'Cause
it's
some of them
so
be cringy.
sometimes it's so cringy that it is funny though, because they're like,
Like
"Hey,
the come,
fellow humans." Yeah, you know,
come and
like
go one. Like that shit was
Hey, fellow
wild.
T. Wait, which one?
what was the come and go one?
I guess what you retweet is like, who's ready to coming or like we're coming to Utah now or something.
Oh
like that.
yeah,
Yeah. I was
and
like,
yeah.
That Wingstop one was fucking wild. Y'all saw the Wingstop one?
Which one is
mm-mm.
that?
That's when they're like, basically he's like, what you trying to do? And a girl is like tweeting at him, and she's like, I just need something in my mouth. And he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
hey, I got somewhere, some shit like that. That shit was fucking funny, dude.
That's just wild as fuck.
We live in a wild world, but that's all we got for y'all. Peace. Tap in to tap
Peace.
in.